The 9th of June, 1981, was selected to represent all the hundreds of thousands who were killed in the Royal Triangle especially. After the war, we collected skulls of Wanga in 32 communal graves, and each one had about 2,000 skulls. So you can count how many people. But we selected the 9th of June because that is when, in the village of Chikandwa, near Semuto, 9 of them were killed, particularly 9 were killed. With Rutamaguzi, people like Nkangirwa, Sentongo, and others, there were 9 of them. They were killed on the 9th of June, today. So that's why we selected that day to represent all the other sacrifices. As the speakers have said, when we were fighting, we had really pressing issues as a country. Not only Uganda, but even the other African countries have been facing or face those problems. In the case of Uganda, the economy had collapsed because of mistakes. Governance had collapsed. Social progress, education, health had collapsed. So really the choice was between survival or continue bleeding like has happened in some of the other countries. Because even today, you can get countries in Africa which are bleeding, even today. But here, we said no. This can't be stopped. And that's why we had the student movement initially linked up with the peasants, the rural people, and we were able to create this capacity. I'm glad that some of them are here. Kabandu is a young one. I don't remember him at all. But Nume was there. Nume is there. He was our chairman in Katoka Njiri. We had the elders are there who joined us. And what were our aims? Aim number one was democracy. Let the people choose their leaders. We had chosen leaders in 1962. From that time, no more elections for 18 years, until 19... Until 1980, 18 years, we had no elections again. Why? Because in 1966, we were supposed to have elections in 19... Come here. We were supposed to have elections in 1967. but they were cancelled because 1966, Obote fought with Mutesa. And that fighting between Mutesa and Obote was due to bad politics, politics of tribes, religion. That's what caused that problem. Then we get Amin coming in 1971. And when Amin comes and says, I'm the one, I'm the leader for life, whether they elect me or not. So that's how we had 18 years of no elections. Now, in 1980, when we defeated Amin, we were supposed to have elections, but our people refused to organize them, UPC. And we tried to talk with them, no way. They would go and declare candidates. Like in West Nile, they stopped the other candidates from going to register, and they were declared unopposed, the UPC candidates. In Tororo, Changomacho, a professor, they said no, he cannot read and write, that he can't, they cancelled him. And we were begging UPC, please, please, please. They wouldn't listen. So that was the first reason, democracy. Then the second reason was security. Security, killing people. No accountability at all. Then the economy, infrastructure, education, health, all those were down. For instance, if you take like health, even by the time we came in 1986, when we launched what we were calling UNEPI. I remember I launched UNEPI, Universal National Expanded Program for Immunization. I launched it with Dr. Uganda in Entebbe. By that time, 96,000 children were dying every year from the 6 killer diseases: measles, the other one called, the 6 of them. And when we immunized, those have polio. If you look for anybody with polio now, you will not see him. If you see anybody with polio, you know that he was born during the time of UPC. That's a UPC disease, polio. And this vaccine, these vaccines were there, but so that's why these were the reasons. Therefore, when you are auditing the aims of the resistance and the achievements, please go by item. Democracy, economy, security, infrastructure, education, health. Of course, there are other things which I don't have to go into, like reputation of Uganda abroad and so on and so forth. As somebody who has been following, I think we have done well. That's why the economy has expanded. The problem of, if you say, for instance, economy, the problem is no longer the supply of goods, because there was Ebola into shortages. Ebola, even if you had money, you had nothing to buy. Now the problem is different. There are so many things to sell. The problem is that some people don't have enough money. And that's what we have been telling you to sort out through wealth creation. So this is number one. Therefore, I want to thank the veterans who joined us, civilian veterans, the armed veterans, to achieve this, to defeat an army of the government which had all the weapons. I thank them so much, and even those who are not here, I want their families to be saluted. Thank you so much. Now, after we won victory, we had to stabilize the country. But at the same time, I was aware in my head about the veterans' welfare, how they can recover, or even some of them start. That's why, as Kabando was saying, we started in Tandikwa. And Tandikwa was supposed to be for only the rural area. But as he says, we spread it to the whole country. Because we could see the jealous, why Ruero, why Ruero? We said, okay, let it go to the whole country. And because it started in 1997 in Tandikwa, Samba Mugerwa was the Minister for State for Ruero. Now, it is true, originally the idea was Ruero Triangle, but then there was jealous. People are now saying, oh, why Ruero, why not? So we said, okay, let it be for the whole country. But we did not forget Ruero. Because later on, I called a conference at Kyankwanzi. 800 people came, the leaders. They came, 800. So I evolved a formula which I presented to them. The formula was, the leaders, if you were a chairman or a member of the Secret Committee or the member of the elected committees which were elected later by the ones of the brother of my RDC, what was his name? Huh?
Fazale Oseguya.
The brother of Samaguzi, my former RDC.
Katamba.
Yes.
Katamba.
Perez.
Perez, yes. If you are either a member of the Secret Committee or the ones of the elected ones of the Muslim boy, the Muslim boy whom had our chair, he was fighting with Katamba, Kasozi. If you are the Kachiko of Kasozi or Katamba, you also get these leaders. If you gave a chivira, you harbored the camp. If you were a guide, like my guide from Mondlane to Semto to Makurubita. What is his name? Not Senkari. Yeah. Senkari. You get 5 million. Kati ngenda kuyita bakabandu abo bandage sente ezo. Bakabandu abo ngenda kubayita mwenna. Katonda kyandese wano. We said each one of these gets 5 million. And not only him, even his wife gets 5 million also. Because like, for instance, if you had like Chigongo, if you had like the one of Kangave, the Museum of Kangave,
Mzee Kabugo.
Mzee Kabugo. He would get 5 million, and his wife would get 5 million. And this was long ago. 5 million was a lot of money at that time. Then, if you are a guide like Senkari, guide, the one who used to lead us, Senkari, the short man, Mutebi, was he called Mutebi? The one from Wakiso to, from Semoto to Makurubite also, the short man. Then the one who led us from Nakaziwa to Chikandwa, Bomboka. I know all those people by name. Bomboka, the one-eyed, the one with the one eye. So when Bomagala Pulimba Mulimba Varala, Mulinde Mveo, Mulimbe. Because here I know everybody by name. So we said, any of those leaders, member of Security Committee, member of the elected committee of Kasozi and Katamba, guide, ndo the name militia inaitwa Mtekamu. They are those who joined the militia. Each one of these gets 5 million shillings. And which year was this when we started?
209.
Yes, long ago. 20 years from now. Then we said, anybody else who was supporting, not a leader, but supporting, gets 1 million. That time,
1.5.
Huh?
1.5.
1.5. Okay. Kati mulaba akakade kyekakoze kati. Akakade kolwaleero. Kakoze ekintu ky'amaanyi. You can imagine the akakade n'ekitundu obudde obwo. This was a lot of money. I can show you Rashida. Show them Rashida of Mpigi. So they are looking for the camera. How much have we spent on that Akasiimo? Okay, katsoke tulabe Rashida.
Amanya gange yenze namulu Rashida. Omutuuze w'ekyalo Kasaka, District Butambala, Gombe Town Council. Nze omu ku baasookera ddala okuganyulwa mu ssente za PDM mu sako yaffe baali bagiyita Kasaka Enterprise Group Gotire yalingi. Kakati ssente nazifuna ku simu, message yajja nga nfunye 1 million. Kakati nensanyuka nnyo ne ngamba yiri yaddala bino. Nenkubira ku chairman wa PDM. Chairman n'angamba byaddala mzee abawadde ssente. Nenziruka ku Centenary Bank. Nenzijjako nenfuna 9,914. Kakati nenkomawo ewaka nensooka nenkola research weewali embuzi ennungi ne bandagirirayo ekyalo bakiyita Mabanda kiri mu Kibibi Town Council neŋŋenda nengula embuzi 3 embuzi 3 nezigula emitwalo 25 emitwalo 75 nengulako n'ennume ennume yali ntoototo kuba nalaba nga nja kugyetaaga mu maaso eyo ennume nengigula emitwalo 15 nensigazawo emitwalo 914 nensooka nenkubako ekiyumba ekiri temporary kakati bwe mmala okikubako ekiri temporary nembeera n'embuzi nezirunda Katonda n'ayamba embuzi ne zaazaala abaana 2 kakati ozazaala abaana 2 nempeza embuzi 10 kati olw'okuba nti embuzi zaali ziyaze nga nina obwetaavu bw'ekiyumba nentuulako embuzi 2 nga zitunda emitwalo 4 nenzimbako ekiyumba kino kye mulaba mwe zibeera kati kaakati zino era nga bwe muziraba zino zonna embuzi 3 ziri mawako kati nsuubira ate ofunkulizinga ennamba esinga ate ku zino kaakati mu mbuzi muno njijjamu maniwa n'atuyambako nze n'omwami wange ne tuteeka mu emmwanyi ne zinyirira era kati
you can see now Rashida got 1 million and in no time she bought 3 goats, each one 250,000. 750,000. Then now we have not finished the story, but she already had 10 goats now. They had produced. And now, because they have got goats, they had the manure for the coffee. So, yes, they 1 million. So, bakabandwa million yange n'ekitundu. Eyenkumi 29 njagala mundage byakola kubanga sibalambulangako the 5 million for omusajja 5 million for omukazi if you are a leader kubanga twabagamba nti obukulembeze tiwali wa musajja bwokka yeka like Mchala Kabugo she was like a co-leader. Mchala Kigongo, where we had the conference. Mchala Rulika, where Yalna Bakazi Babiri, the active one was the younger one. So mugende mulimba abalala. But I have not been following up these things of yours. I've been giving you money. How much money have we spent on that? The Akasiimo?
From Schedule 1, since 2008-9 financial year. Total is 231 billion 628 million.
231 billion. Yes. 231 billion has been spent on that. So, I need this meeting with the veterans. The committee of Jacobo, Musajja of Akasiimo, and then this the committee of Sedung is now old man. He doesn't follow. It is these younger ones who are following. That. So we need to what happened? 231 billion. How many of the 5 million were got? And how many of the 1.5? Then we didn't stop there. 2013, when I started Operation Wealth Creation, yatandikira Luwero. I told Sare, first give seedlings to the families of the veterans. sooka oweereze amaka g'abalwanyi seedlings ez'emmwanyi ez'ebibala ebyamagana. First give the veterans. And he spent like a year or two doing that. So I said, abazirwanako obamazi nti mbamazi obatuuseko bona nti mbatuuseko. Okay, kale oba oze kutuukako abazirwanako naawe gabira abalala. This is how I did it. So I will get Sale's list. Sale should be in that meeting with his list. Naye ffe Abaganda tulina engero zaffe, ffe Abaganda b'omu Lukoola, nti ekitata buyima tekimumalako nti wadde ebyo byonna bibaddewo Katonda kyatuleese wano. So we are going to have a meeting and find out what happened to all this money. The 231 billion does not include the seedlings of Operation Wealth Creation. That's separate now. Kati akasikano kabanda okayogerako tebandigenzeyo kubanga betwasooka mpozi oluvannyuma nawulirako no, but that one doesn't apply kubanga oluvannyuma wamu bagamba nti abamu abazirwanako tebalina ttaka. Okay, oba temwalina ttaka naye wafuna akasiimo, genda okola ebirala ebiteetaaga ttaka, because the Akasiimo was in cash. It was not. It was cash. The Akasiimo was in cash. The seedlings were the ones you could say walina okubeera n'ettaka, but ekibanja, but the cash you didn't have to have ekibanja. So therefore, in spite of all those efforts, we are now going to meet again, and we are not, even if the veteran died, the children are there. We shall see how to give, I'm glad you have formed circles, and those circles should preferably not too far, because when you say Ruweru is too big. That's why I like the PDM. PDM is in a parish, Omuluka guli okumpi. So maybe the circles here could be, we shall discuss, should it be by the command areas, because we had Black Bomba, we had Mondlane, we had Nkuruma, we had Ngoma, we had Chiwanguzi. Should we follow that, or we shall see? Kubanga sagala abantu baffe bagende wala okusaka sente wala. Kiba kirungi bakolere obuweereza babugye awali okumpi. Now, nze enkola yange esiriraana n'abaavu. Nabagamba nti saagala kuliraana n'abaavu buli wembeera. Kulwaki? Kubanga ntya omwenzi ndi mukristaayo, njagala kugenda mu ggulu. Saagala bamalayika banzigalire tugwe omusajja omugaga, olinga wali omugaga w'omu Bayibuli eyalina obugaga wano ku nsi, bwe yatuuka mu ggulu ne bumusindika mu Geyeena. Yo nsonga mbagamba nti buli wembeera ndina okugezako okusitula embeera y'abantu. So you can show them my kisozi. Nina amaka 28,000 naye kati wenjogerera bonna kati tulabe ekisozi. Or you don't have them? don't have?
Nundayo nimanyi
Wadiki? If you are gone struggling with it, once we shall see it. In Kisozi, what I've been doing has been to give free seedlings to the farmers, also giving them other materials for plant and breeding. So in the Rueda Triangle, I have got my government land in Kaumu. I will now use Kaumu to produce seedlings and give again. I have land in Ngoma. I will use that land also to produce seedlings there, government land, so that the children of the veterans get seedlings. So that's not a problem. Meeting veterans, very good. We shall organize. After July, like August. Now, the issue of a nyumba is the one which is a bit tricky, because the people are many, they are not few. Bano minister bazimbide baton, that is my group of Kisozi.
manya gange nzerule John ni musajja mulimi nundayo nimanyo kusinga nimanye mwanyi ni makasoli ebitooke natandise n'okulima ennyaanya naye njala kwebaza nnyo President Museveni kubanga yasanga tetumanyi kyakukola. Kusooka nga ettaka lyaffe lyerisinga obulungi wano mu district y'e Gombe naye ettaka lyonna nga mbizi za mu nsiko mwe zisula. President bwe yatuweereza abatusomesa ne batuyigiriza engeri gy'osobola okulima emmere bwe twava mu mmere kati abasooka okulabuka ate kakati tuli basajja bagagga. So ekitiibwa kyonna kyonna kitiibwa President Museveni. Okusooka byonna President yampa ebitooke nalima yika 5 ebitooke ebyo nakuŋŋanya milioni 27 mu bitooke. Endala ezaweerera abaana ze nalya nali sizibala naye buli nafunanga katugeze milioni 1 nga nteekako emitwalo nga 3 oba 5 nesevinga milioni 27. Kakati mu sizoni ewedde emwanyi zokka nga nzigyeko ze nateekamu kubanga nze ebiseera ebisinga sibala zentaddemu saagala kuzibala. Njagala bwe mmala ze njagala okukubuulira ge magoba nafuna milioni 15 nenyongerako sizoni eyo ey'emmwanyi nenzimba ennyumba yali ya milioni 93 nenjizimba era naawe weeri nagulawo obuguzi nagulawo milioni 9 waliwo yiikemu n'ekitundu. Nina abaana 6 bonna bali ku ssomero kati ekyo nakyo magoba nguzeeko ebibanja kubanga fe abalimi obudde bwonna olowooza mu kulima kati bukaseera wobeera ekifo kiba tekikumala kirala nengulamu mulo motoka nagigula milioni 48 ebirala nunzeeko ninayo obute butono ate ninayo n'obubuzi bwange neera nabwo buva mu mwanyi President zampadde. Naye tulina ebitusoomooza. Ekisooka emmwanyi zino zirina akawuka sobola okulabako nga bino kubanga abatuyigiriza abalimisa batugamba nti ogenda obinojjola kugeza nga kino kati okalaba kano kati amakungula gaakano gandibadde ngaagaakano oba kano naye kati sigenda kufunako kubanga akawuka kaakano. Ekisooka kino ekintu kino kikulu nnyo era nsaba President Museveni atuyambe kubanga kati ffe abeene Gomba ffe etaala yaffe buli kimu kyetufuna kigwe tukaabira. Kintu kino alina okutuyamba okuleeta abakugu tulya kiki tuyinza okuzzaako olw'akantu kano kubanga kasobola okulya yiika kubanga yiika tulowooza nti bwoba okola bulungi osobola okufuna kati okugeza nga guno omuti nsobola okuggyako kilo 8 kakati kilo 8 buli season enkalu kati kilo y'emmwanyi enkalu egula sinye 15 mu 2 kati oyinza okubisa n'olaba sente zengenda okufuna ng'afunye kilo 8 kyokka bw'oba na bino kilo 8 tezisobola kuwera n'olwekyo njagala okusaba pulezidenti nga nvudde ku kyakawuka atwongere ensigo seedlings ensigo ennungi zeyatuwa simbi.
So this is the program again, which Sade had started with, but this time we are going to repeat it and see directly. I will also be involved directly and find out why, what is the problem. Now, finally, 2 points. One is the hospital in Entebbe. It is true, PPS, it is true that because I support, when the veterans are sick, I treat them. But I treat them in Nakasero, government, private hospitals, too much money. So I said, why don't we use Entebbe Hospital to treat these veterans? But it seems I have not followed it up. Should we follow it up and we stop squandering money in private hospitals? Now, finally, the issue of the museum. That one, we shall buy that land in Megade, because where you are saying is opposite where we had a camp. We had a camp on the left, but the land you are talking about is on the right as you face Gulu. So we shall buy it and build a museum there. So kabandu atugenda kusinkana tuyite mu bitabo obuwumbi 231 bwalaga ku address ki bwalagawa. So then we shall find out if there is any family which didn't get, there are 5 million they will get. And if they had got it, especially at that time, it was a lot of money, 5 million. Even now, abantu bange bana bafunye akakada akamu, only 1 million, they have moved. Embizi, Embuzi, Obumyu, Sekoko, Ndiga. You can show them a girl called Opio. Let's see Opio last.
Anya POVK, Aburi one to teach Manma Alingiri Cell, T Banya Ward, T my town council, T Lira district.
Her name is Apioviki, a resident of Alingiri Cell, Banya Ward, Amach Town Council in Lira district.
Agamu Tiana PDM, Yari Ariapirwa Adek.
She got the money for PDM in 2023.
La Habong when to me appear a bear and a 900